I guess that what we're saying about Jesus as Christians is that that dimension, that element of God's life, which from all eternity is pouring out, is kind of captured for a moment in one life in history. That in this life, from start to finish, there's as much God as humanity can hold. And that the outpouring and the joyful responding that goes with it, that's all there in that life, and there's no interruption. I can't imagine what a human life like that would be from the inside, because, that's not my life. But that's what we're led to believe, that because there's that concentration of the divine life there, somehow history just turns on its axis there. And not surprisingly, but really frighteningly, because this life is so full of the recklessness of God's love, people around hate it. They're embarrassed, they're afraid, they're even hateful. They push back at it. They push it right out over the cliff edge on the cross. And as they look down into the abyss, a voice behind them says, "Peace be with you." You're back.
When you kind of stand on the margins and people accuse you of wasting your time, Jeremiah says, "In this place of which you say it is a waste, there will be heard again the voice of mirth and the voice of gladness, the voices of those who sing." So you don't so much make those voices heard. That's not the prophetic thing. But you somehow push people forward and say, "Go ahead," And you make the space and you bridge the distance. And that happens, and that's the kind of transformation I think that fundamentally, deeply is what God longs for.
If you tried to express love to human beings and just came down and said, "I am love each other," we automatically, because we're so afraid of hard things, we would automatically go to like unicorns and rainbows. And so you would have to send someone to show what love in the flesh looked like. You would have to send, what does love look like? And so otherwise we would romanticize it. We would turn it, we would make it easy, because that's who we are as people. We're going to make it easy. And so then Jesus comes and says, "Okay, I am love. I sit with the people you're not allowed to talk to. I do all the hard things. I make all the hard choices."
The important word is not death, is not resurrection, it's and. We're saved by the death and resurrection. In other words, it's a saying yes to both of them. First the death, and trusting even this will lead to resurrection. That's salvation. You're indestructible. Nothing can destroy you now. That is the salvation of the world. Christ has died, Christ has risen, Christ will rise again or come again. We have said that in mythic form, but I meet hardly any Christians, Catholic, Protestant, evangelical, charismatic, who know what that means. Because we pushed Jesus into this atonement thing, which was a juridical transaction. You don't fall in love with the juridical transaction, Instead of, God is in immediate personal solidarity and union with what I'm suffering right now. That Jesus you'll fall in love with. That Jesus you'll give your life for.
How far does love go?
Love goes as far as God's heart can go. Let's go. On the cross, God has the whole world in his hand. That's how far love goes. very, very expansive. And in it, Greeks and Jews, Hutu and Tutsi, Americans and Africans, Catholics and Methodists, black and white, get reconciled. You know that text also where Jesus says, there are many rooms in my Father's house. That's how fight goes. That's the amazing gift of our God, that expansive love that he was able to lay down his life for us on the cross.